All right. So now, Jay, musically, who do you like? I mean, if you were going to buy a concert ticket right now, who would you want to go see?
You know what? I was just having a discussion with this. One of our clients went to see the Foo Fighters in Denver just a few days ago. And he was in the office here. We were doing some rollovers for him. And I said, hey, that's awesome. I'd love to see the Foo Fighters. Who I really want to see, and I think I might have missed the opportunity, right? I'd love to see AC/DC.
Oh, yeah.
I think those guys are pushing mid-70s probably by now or later. So I'm not sure what my chances are of that. I will say this, though. I took my mom to see Rod Stewart in Vegas in November, right? So that guy, if he's not 80, he's getting close.
Yep.
And you know what? He's still putting on a good show. He did have to sit down and take a break halfway through while there was like an instrumental portion, but good for him, man.
Yeah, I am not a huge Rod Stewart fan, but I was out in Vegas and he was playing at Caesars and my wife and I went. I just loved it. I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was great.
Absolutely.
Well, the idea of buying a concert ticket now, it's exciting. And I hate that we have to buy concert tickets like a year before we see the show. That's nuts. But somebody at work here wanted to go see Justin Timberlake. Okay. And so I looked at the cost of those tickets, and they were sky high. I couldn't believe it. And I asked her, I said, did you really buy tickets? She goes, yeah. I said, how much? And she goes, they were $135 a ticket. That was face value. And then when I got done paying for the tickets, it was $200 a piece. It was $400 to $500 to go to that show on a $135 seat. The fees that are connected with Ticketmaster and StubHub and everybody else. As a matter of fact, there's lawsuits on right now with StubHub. So hidden fees. We deal with this in every part of our life, whether it's going to the airport, whether it's your phone bill, whether it's concert tickets. It's crazy. And the financial industry is probably number one here, but none of us feel it because we're not digging down into something called a prospectus. Talk to me about what you can do about this. And is it a eye-popping moment when you sit down and do a portfolio x-ray for somebody and they find out, holy cow, there's a lot of money going to somebody else and not my retirement?
Yeah, it's really a clarity issue, which I think is what you're talking about here, right? So it's not so much that, like with those tickets you mentioned about going to Justin Timberlake, right? It kind of ends up almost doubling in price by the time you get done with it.
Yep.
And wouldn't you rather just be told it's $200?
Yes.
Right? Like wouldn't you rather log on and just like it's $200, not this is. I've had this discussion with my wife before. I was like,
yeah.
Do they not realize that just annoys people? And people just want to see what is the price. What am I have to pay? It's the same with the airlines. Yeah, you're right. I think wasn't it around like 2008 or something? They brought the whole luggage thing in where it's my girls will probably never know. Like they're 2 and 4. They'll probably never know that you used to get served a tray of food when you went on the planes, even if you weren't sitting up the front. You get and you could check a couple of suitcases and. There weren't these huge security lines. Everything's changed, right?
Yeah.
And the problem is you don't know what your true cost is. And that's what I find in the investment side. The best example I've got this is a couple of years ago, I had some clients that were referred to us by some existing clients of ours. And they didn't really want to leave their advisor. They just couldn't get straight answers on what was going on. And their advisor worked for a big national group. I won't mention the name. It was a big national group. And part of the issue is that when you get into these big conglomerates like that, the person you're talking to is not the decision maker.
Right.
They're not the one that sets the rules, set the prices. They're a salesperson to a degree, right? And they have to operate inside this structure. And they said, the problem is they presented this portfolio to us about a recommendation, and this costs 1.7, and this costs 0.5, and this is 185, and this is 2.3, and this is nothing but could go up to 1.7. And they're just like, I don't know what's going on here. Like what?
Yeah.
We don't understand it. Yep. And it makes it very difficult to make confident decisions when you don't know what the data is, when you don't know what the information is, right? And we've got a kind of a cost that it is for clients to work with us, and I gave it to them on one sheet, and I was like, this is where you are. And they're like, all right, great. I'm happy to pay. I need somebody to help me. I can't and don't want to do this myself. So it's not that I'm not trying to pay. I just want to know what it is. And they're like, okay, great. Let's get the money over here. And they moved all their money. It's not necessarily about, you should know the cost. Absolutely. It's about having the clarity of like, this is very clear to me. This is what I'm paying and I understand it.
Well, if you have $1 million and a financial advisor charges you 1%, that's $10,000 a year.
Right.
But you never get a bill for that. It's hidden someplace in the losses, or it's, in the gains or whatever, and they take it out of the gains and that kind of thing. If you were to send me a bill for $10,000 every year in December, I would go, wow, that's the biggest bill I pay all year. And what am I getting for that? And I think that's the question that everyone should ask. True. Fees are fees. I have a lawn service, and I've had it for years, and I pay $30 a week for this guy to come over, mow my lawn. But he doesn't just mow my lawn. He does the bushes. He blows the leaves out. He does the weed stuff, the fertilizer. He does the weed killer. And I get all that for $30 a week. And I feel like I'm stealing here. I'm getting a great deal for what I'm paying. And I think that everybody should look at their financial advisor and feel the same way. I wonder if they do.
Yeah, and it's one of the number one complaints that you hear in this industry. It's just like, hey, I kind of put my money at whatever it is, ABC company, and I never heard from them again.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know what's going on with it. And it's, it's not that you need to be in contact every week, right? It's not like there's not that much going on that you need to be in contact or every month or anything like that. But it's just, occasionally let's stay up to date. Let's update this financial plan. Let's make sure we're still on track. What you said, I think, is kind of what I was getting at before. Is people that engage whoever it is for a service, right? Whether you go to an attorney, you go to a doctor, you go to a head barber, whatever it is, right?
Right.
You're saying, I've got to pay. That's the way the world works. However, I want a good haircut.
Yeah.
I want good legal advice, right? I want good financial advice. I want good financial planning. I need somebody to help me walk through this 15, 20, 30-year retirement journey that I have and give me that confidence.
Yeah. I think that the financial industry also, they charge by how much you have. It's like, that's weird too to me. It's not like when you go get your oil change and the guy drives in with a Honda and they said, oh, how much did you pay for your car? $40,000. Okay, your oil change is $50. Next guy walks in and he's got a Cadillac and he goes, what'd you pay for your car? $90,000. Okay, your oil change is $100. It doesn't work that way. But it does in the financial world. And I think that knowing what you're paying and making sure you're getting great value for what you're paying, especially during times like this, Jay, because markets are fluctuating all over the place. You get a little nervous. I need somebody I'm going to calm me down and tell me what I need to do, give me options if I need them. That's the value. That's the service of being able to see somebody face to face.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. People need us when things are uncomfortable, when markets are volatile, when things aren't going exactly perfectly in their financial life. Think of it like a doctor. If you're sick, you need a doctor a lot more than when you're doing great, right? You need them during that time, right? Hey, if I wake up, I'm feeling great, I don't have any aches and pains or headaches, like, oh, well, I'm glad I got a doctor there, but, I didn't need to get a hold of him. The next day, you're not feeling good, you got aches, you got pains, you got a headache, there's something just not right. That's when you need that guy answering the phone. That's when you need to get in and see that doctor. It's not when everything's going great.
And there's a time in your life where you feel a little uncertain about things because you're about to go into this thing called retirement. You've never been there before. It's a 20, 30-year period of time in your life, and you wonder how it's all going to work out. You want it to work out, but you're just not sure about the money. Well, let's give you some confidence about that. Give us a call. Give us a look on our website at Secure Financial Management. Retire210.com. Retire210.com is our website, or you can give us a call at 210-985-6266. 6200. 210-985-6200. Sit down with Jay and the team, and let's build your retirement and give you some clarity about what you're getting, give you some value, and give you a partner, really, to walk through retirement with you.